Hello, fellow book loving friends. My name is Dee Armstrong. I'm a writer, mom, teaholic, gardening ninja, and my grandma name is Lolly. Welcome to December and my December news and my writing world. Do you believe in miracles? I do. Grab some tea or your favorite beverage and let me tell you why. For decades, yes, decades, I wanted to write a book. And I've always been a lover of books, of stories written from the heart. I began writing my first book in college, and it was about a girl and a cat and a cowboy. Well, being from Colorado and the fact I was in college and I loved cats, it worked. But I put that book on pause for my dream of being a linguist. I joined the Air Force where I met the love of my life, an Army guy who sat next to me for a year learning Russian at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. The next time I started writing a book was when my girls were 3 and 5, and we bought our first computer. Now, the monitor was a mile deep, and the tower took up all the room underneath my desk. And I learned how to use it by reading a manual out loud to my husband on the drive down to North Carolina. I mean, this was the first computer that I take that back. I think we worked on a computer in high school, but this was the first computer that we ever owned in my home. And I had learned how to type on a typewriter in high school, and I could type like a tornado. Plus, I had a burning desire to put the stories in my head down on paper. And what else could a girl who loves romance and wants to be a romance writer need but a computer, typing skills, and a love for books? Now, my husband didn't hold a special place in his heart for romance books like I did, but he agreed that I should go for it. And I started another book, this one about a girl and a military guy. They say, write what you know. Now, when my sister visited and introduced me to Mary Kay Cosmetics, I believed in her and the dream she spun and put aside my dream of writing for that dream. And she signed me up under her. And on the drive from Virginia back to Colorado, she quit. But I kept going and I became a director in Mary Kay. I raised another director along my side who raised another director along her side. And for 10 years, I worked hard. I trained. I loved and appreciated the women I worked with, but I felt that I was living another person's life. Every day was a struggle to be someone I wasn't. I'm not an outgoing soul. I'm a solitary soul. I love being in my writing world. And I felt that I wasn't doing what God wanted me to do. You see, I had this ache in my heart to tell the stories that were in my head. And I'd get an idea and a movie would start to play in my head, and I could see the characters, their homes, their struggles, their happy ending, as if it was already real and already a movie happening that I was watching. Then I was lucky enough to stay at the homestead in Hot Springs, Virginia. It was like taking a stroll back in time. And an idea for not one book, but a trilogy bloomed in my brain. And I fiddled with the ideas and how to write it. And before I again went to my husband, and I told him that I'd like to write not one book, but 3 books. And I needed to take a chance on my dreams, my hopes, and my future. I gave up my directorship and followed my dream. This time, it wasn't just about me and wanting to write books. It was about the main characters, Isabella, Ava, and JD. And I couldn't not tell their story. Isabella, who wanted so badly to be a chef but was haunted by her ancestor who never achieved her dream. Ava, who was a Broadway star and lived in today's world but sleepwalk in 1929, however you say it. Finally, JD, whose specialty was finding lost children with the unwanted help of the ghost who haunted her. All these women's lives and their futures and the 3 ghosts who haunted them were intertwined into one mystery that went back for generations. I believe God gave me a dream, a dream to write. And once I believed in him, I believed in me. Now, 34 years later, after I attempted to write my first book, actually, it's 32 years later when it came out. After I attempted to write my first book, 3 miracle books happened: Visions of Emerald, Sleepwalking with Ruby, and Haunted by Amethyst. More miracles came my way. I met book-loving friends like you guys. I found my tribe, and I wake up every day doing something that I love. Why is this a miracle? I'm just an ordinary girl. I don't have a degree in literature or an MFA in writing. I didn't learn the classics in high school or in college. I did read a few of them later. I'm just a girl who likes to tell stories, believes in love, the good guys, happy endings, and miracles. And I believe God has a miracle for you too. I'd love to show you my writing world and get a peek into my office, which you can see behind me. It's all set up for Christmas, but usually I give you guys like a sneak peek into what's happening in my writing world. But my writing world and my employee of the month are interlinked, and I'll tell you why. I try not to have a person as my employee of the month. This year it's been everything from my dogs to my teapot, but my husband is my employee of the month. The poor man. This is what happened. I woke up early before the November Spill the Tea book chat, and I decided to sanctify my office for our chat together on Dear Santa by Debbie Maycomber, which meant that we were up at, I think, 4:30 in the morning. We took everything off the desks. We moved the desks. We pulled out all the Christmas decorations from the garage, all because I wanted a Christmas tree behind us as we talked. You don't understand what a huge thing this was. The computer that's on a stand with an arm had to come off the desk. I have all these little tiny things, breakables, on my desk. I am a clutter girl. I feel happy and loved with my things around me. That part of my desk over there had to be shifted to here, and this part of my desk got pushed out into the living room. We put up the tree, brought everything back in, set it back up, and we said, okay, this is going to be for a month. I love white Christmas trees, but it poofs white cotton all over you. It was on my hair, my skin, on the dogs. Dogs are dragging it all over the house. Those bulbs back there, that bulb garland back there, have glitter all over them. I was covered with glitter. The floor of my desk, my hubby was covered with glitter. I think glitter is the nemesis of men. They hate glitter, and it sticks to them forever. I was vacuuming him, trying to get it off. And we finished with time to spare. I got down. I was ready, I was, putting everything back, getting all ready. And I discovered that I hated how the room worked. My desk was awkward. I felt like I'd lost my workspace. Things didn't go where they needed to go. And I had to go to my husband and say, I know I wanted this Christmas tree, but can we put everything back? It's just not working. I can't do this for a month. So, mind you, there's glitter everywhere. There's white poofs from the Christmas tree everywhere. The dogs are covered. The clock is ticking, and I have to get ready. And I'm disappointed that I've wasted my time. I've wasted my husband's time. And we put everything back, and I was disappointed that I didn't have a tree. Then my hubby came up with the idea to split the tree in half and have half of it on the desk and half of it under the desk. I'm like, are you nuts? I didn't think it would work, but we did it. And I don't know if you can tell. Well, now I think you can tell because it brought your attention to it, but it's split in half. So we still have a Christmas tree, and husband saved the day. He fought glitter and cotton puffs and made my world magical so that I could have a fabulous backdrop for our Spill the Tea and our author news. And the journey, the painful glitter-filled puff-filled journey that I took my husband on is why he's employee of the month. And I think he might need to be nominated man of the year. All right, we have a special offer This is the last month that my Twin Springs Trilogy is free with Kindle Unlimited with your subscription to Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have a Kindle Unlimited subscription and want to read my books by ebook, they're for free. Contact your local library and ask for my books. You can go through the library. You can even listen to my audiobooks at the library. So don't worry. If you do not have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, my books are always found at the library, even in audiobook. You can also purchase my hardback, paperback books at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and so on. It's just the ebooks that are limited only to Kindle, that are with Kindle Unlimited only. And this is the last month for that. Now, our sneak peek is a little different. And I'm reading you a poem of sorts that I wrote, and it's called The Recipe of a Family. Last Christmas, I gave my children this poem on a cutting board, and I'd like to share it with you because nothing is more important than family at the holidays. The recipe of a family is a cup of kindness, a dash of devotion, a teaspoon of tears, a pound of patience, season with forgiveness, stir in support and layer with lots of love. Allow to rise to greatest potential, powder with prayers and roll with understanding, and top with a sprinkle of acceptance and bake within a warm, loving embrace. That is the poem that I'd like to share with you today. Now, Spill the Tea with Dee Book Chat. In November, we spilled on Dear Santa by the Queen of Christmas Stories, #1 New York Times bestselling author Debbie Macomber. If you missed it, there's a link in the newsletter. And our winner was KCH, who won a signed copy of Dear Santa and a signed copy of Visions of Emerald by me. Now, December 11th, we are spilling on Brenda Novak's book. We're continuing in the Christmas spirit and spilling on Keep Me Warm at Christmas by Brenda Novak. Watch live by joining me in my Facebook group, Dee Armstrong's Book Loving Friends, or on my YouTube or Facebook page. In the newsletter, I put a last minute gift guide with links of gift ideas for those book loving friends on your shopping list, because a book loving friend is always on the nice list. As always, I feel school is never out for the pro. And if you are a writer, an aspiring writer, learn with me in a live webinar at Lawson Writers Academy. Margie is teaching on taking charge of your life. It's a couple hours out of your month that will this time improve not only your writing, but your life. Now, if you haven't already joined my Facebook group, Dee Armstrong's Book Loving Friends, come on over. Let's chat. I'd love to talk with you live. You can join Spill the Tea with me. We talk everything books, and I spill on my books in progress. If you loved my trilogy, please leave a review on Amazon. It makes a huge difference for our authors. Post with our Facebook group, Dee's Book Loving Friends, your thoughts and what books you are enjoying right now. Hearing from readers is a bright spot in my day. Well, I got a little jumbled at the end, I have to admit. I didn't realize that I hadn't put my recipe of a family on the screen, and I had to dig for it, and that kind of threw me off. But that is it for me, Dee, and my December author news. I want to thank you for being a book loving friend. I love sharing with you, wishing you miracles this holiday season. Happy reading, and as always, you will find me writing on the porch. Hugs. Bye for now.